Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a look outside our weather window on this Monday. And boy, lots of low clouds once again out there today. After that skiff of snow that most of us received overnight, and the clouds just kind of stuck around all the way from here into Moses Lake, Ritzville, and even far east is the Spokane area, that low cloud deck. We'll see a break in our weather as we have this afternoon into tomorrow, and then, storm number 1 of 2 that are coming our way. And that'll be on Thursday, probably Thursday morning, a break during the day Friday, and then more snow coming Friday afternoon and Friday night. We could see a little bit of snow on Saturday, and then another bigger storm moves in on Sunday. And we'll have your complete north central Washington weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. 5 people were hospitalized after a 2-car collision Saturday night, 6 miles south of the Blewett Pass summit. Brewster police arrested a juvenile Friday after learning of an alleged threat to shoot up Brewster Middle School. And the Ellensburg Racquet and Recreation Center was destroyed in an apparent arson fire early Friday morning that had spread from a nearby hay and straw storage facility. But first, our top story tonight, a 2-car accident in Soap Lake yesterday afternoon sent both drivers to the hospital. The Washington State Patrol reports that at 2 p.m., a 2013 Ram 1500 pickup was stopped at the intersection of State Route 17 and State Route 28 and then traveled through the intersection where it collided with the front end of a 2014 Toyota Prius that was traveling eastbound on State Route 28. Both drivers, 62-year-old Liliana J. Willifana in the Ram and 49-year-old Naomi E. Paskich in the Prius, were transported to Columbia Basin Hospital in Ephrata with undisclosed injuries. Willifana faces charges of failing to yield the right-of-way. Both autos were totaled in that accident. 5 people were hospitalized after a 2-car collision Saturday night, 6 miles south of the Blewett Pass summit. According to the Washington State Patrol, shortly after 6 p.m., a 2007 Honda Civic was traveling northbound when the driver lost control and skidded onto the southbound lane, where it struck a 2016 Audi A6 sedan. A passenger in the Civic, 21-year-old Aravind Raikukumar of Bellevue, was airlifted to Harborview Medical Center with serious injuries. The driver, 27-year-old Amanda E. Hazelden of Linwood, was transported to Central Washington Hospital with unknown injuries. Also transported to Central Washington Hospital were all 3 passengers in the Audi, 20-year-old Cameron Anderson, 19-year-old Mackenzie Sauerbrier, and 19-year-old Sarah Swanson. Hazelden was cited for driving too fast for conditions. Well, Brewster police arrested a juvenile Friday after learning of an alleged threat to shoot up Brewster Middle School. Brewster Police Chief Marcos Ruiz said the school district reported that some students received a group message Friday with a picture of a gun warning them not to go to school on Monday. Ruiz said officers quickly tracked down and arrested the sender of the message today. They reported finding the gun in the photo, which turned out to be a pellet gun with no bright-colored markings. Ruiz did not say if the arrested juvenile was a student at the school. The Ellensburg Racquet and Recreation Center was destroyed in an apparent arson fire early Friday morning that had spread from a nearby hay and straw storage facility. The Ellensburg Police Department said fire crews arrived at the ACX storage facility on Vantage Highway about 12:30 a.m. to find 2 structures fully engulfed. The fire quickly spread to the city-owned Racquet and Recreation Center. Kittitas Valley Fire and Rescue said temperatures in the single digits made for difficult conditions for firefighters who continued to fight the fire in the early morning hours. At about 8 on Friday night, Kittitas County Sheriff's detectives arrested 24-year-old Lyle Chance Morgan on suspicion of first-degree arson. Authorities say Morgan is a former employee of the ACX facility. The Racquet and Recreation Center housed an indoor soccer field, 2 indoor tennis courts, 4 pickleball courts, 3 racquetball courts, an indoor batting cage, and a fitness room. The city Parks and Recreation Director called the fire a devastating loss for the community. Well, when we come back, the 8th District's member of Congress wants the current outbreak of RSV declared a national emergency. Chelan's new hospital building is open for staff and patients as of today. And Chelan County is getting closer to a date for its swearing in of new county officials. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Welcome back. In other news, the 8th District's member of Congress wants the current outbreak of RSV declared a national emergency. Representative Kim Schreier, who's also a pediatrician, called on President Biden to make the declaration in a Seattle Times opinion column over the weekend, co-written with the CEO of Seattle Children's Hospital. RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus, has hospitalized almost 7 times as many people this year compared to the 5-year average, and the vast majority are children under 17. In their column, Schreier and Seattle Children's Chief Executive Jeff Sperring call on the Biden administration to declare a public health emergency, similar to the one declared for COVID-19. They write that doing so would, quote, allow our healthcare system more flexibility to smartly allocate resources and care for children. Well, Chelan's new hospital building is open for staff and patients as of today. Lake Chelan Health unlocked the doors officially on its new facility at 110 South Apple Blossom Drive. The opening was originally scheduled for early November, but had to be rescheduled due to delays in getting health and safety inspections finalized. The new $44 million complex replaces the original Lake Chelan Hospital, which was built in 1972 and had become too small and outdated for the Chelan and Manson communities. Well, Chelan County is getting closer to a date for its swearing in of new county officials. County Commissioner Kevin Overbay said today that the ceremony will likely be held either December 28th or 29th at the Chelan County Courthouse, although details are still being finalized. Elected officers assume their posts on January 1st under state law. Among those to be sworn in after their victories in November's election are incoming County Commissioner Sean Smith, Sheriff-elect Mike Morrison, and District Judge-elect John Bolin. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Since Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, the city of Wenatchee is still looking for a developer to take on the 8-acre North Wenatchee Avenue project. The former warehouse and industrial neighborhood is ready for new commercial development after the closure of the state's DOT yard and the destruction left by the Sleepy Hollow fire in 2015. On Thursday, the City Council agreed to continue a contract with the Alabama firm Retail Specialists to market the property for possible partners.
The item before you is the exclusive listing agreement between the city and Retail Specialist. This is basically a proposed extension to the existing contract. So we had an MOU with Retail Strategies for the past year, which expired in September. That was the contract that allowed them to market the North Wenatchee property for us. It also had the ability for them to be the developer for the property if they so chose to do that once they did some more due diligence on the property. This agreement continues to move the listing component, so the marketing component, for another 6 months. It does not include the ability for them to be the sole developer anymore, though. So in essence, they're acting as our real estate broker for the property. It's for 6 months. There's a variety of different agencies here because Retail Specialist is a Alabama company and they're actually under a different division, and so they're using Danes Capital. So happy to explain that if there's additional questions. They're also partnering with a local Washington firm since they're not licensed to do business in Washington. So that being said, it's a 6-month agreement for them to continue to market the property for us. The property has been a little bit quiet for some time. We're working on securing the anchor tenant. We anticipate that once we secure that anchor tenant, we'll really be able to do a lot of more work. So the 6 months should provide us the ability to continue to vet those additional proposals.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great weekend. Clouds and cool out there throughout our weekend. A skip of snow overnight. You had to clean those cars off a little bit this morning as you went to work. And a winter wonderland down in the Leavenworth area as we look down at that part of the upper valley from our Tumwater Canyon Sky-Fi Tower cam. And boy, lots of low clouds, even a drop or a snowflake on our camera lens up there. So still some scattered showers out there, but mainly those low clouds and that low cloud deck stuck with us for most of the day. 27, our unofficial high today, once again below where we should be for this time of year. I sound like a broken record. We've talked about that for about a month now that we've been below normal. 21 is where we started tomorrow. This morning, that too below where we should be at 26 degrees. Our record cold 8 degrees in 1984, record high 48 in 2012. No new precipitation. Boy, we're sitting pretty though for the year with 8.08 inches. That's from January to now. So we still have a little bit of time to add to that total. Sunrise 7:32 and early sunset now. It happened this afternoon at 4:11. Let's take a look at your Tuesday temperatures, and not going to see a whole lot of change from what we had today, and that's going to be our story pretty much throughout this week, at least temperature-wise. 29s tomorrow for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. Maybe 30 for Wenatchee. We might be the warm spot in our area. 29 in Cashmere, 28 in Leavenworth, and 28 degrees also for you folks in Lake Chelan. Taking a look at what we can expect tonight, maybe some patchy fog developing in our early morning hours, then mostly cloudy with low temperatures temperatures right around that 20-degree mark, so a lot like this morning. As we get into Tuesday, mostly cloudy. It will be just slightly warmer. We'll get to see a little bit of a southwesterly flow move our way, and that'll get our temperatures to at least 30 degrees, which will be better than we've seen. Mostly cloudy and chilly on Wednesday. And here is our next weather maker. Here's the frontal boundary associated with that storm. High temperatures on Wednesday at the 30-degree mark. Okay, morning commute on Thursday. Here we go. Morning snow is likely throughout our area, and that includes almost all of our viewing area. We'll see a break in that in the afternoon. Mostly cloudy. High temperatures once again about the 30-degree mark. For Friday, that storm system moves just into the northwestern part of Washington State. Lots of clouds around on Friday, and then we will begin to see snow shower activity again on Friday. Same system. High temperatures Friday around 30 degrees. And then for Saturday, maybe an isolated snow shower or two. Mostly cloudy before storm number 2 moves our way. That'll happen on Sunday. High temperatures for Saturday, again consistently around that 30-degree mark. And boy, lots of cold air coming down from Canada. Sunday, here we go, as that area of low pressure spins that moisture and snow our direction. It looks like we're not going to see a whole lot of breaks in that on Sunday either. Snow is likely. High temperatures again right around 30 degrees. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast, brought to you tonight by Apple Valley Honda. Tonight we will get down. It's going to get a little chilly tonight again. 20 degrees for our overnight low. 30 degrees. A bit of a break tomorrow, so enjoy that. We'll see 30, also a break and chilly on Wednesday at 30, and then our snowy weather returns. Once again, snow in the morning Thursday, so keep that in mind when you make that morning commute. 30 our high. Snow likely once again on Friday. That will redevelop in the afternoon. A bit of a break Saturday with just scattered snow showers around 31 for our high temperature. And then on Sunday, there's storm number 2. Cloudy skies, snow likely on Sunday with high temperatures again right around that 30-degree mark. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
It's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
Good Monday, sports fans. We have a couple of state champions in our midst. Congratulations to Liberty Bell, the best 8-man football team in the state. They won their first ever state championship. No problems over Nia Bay on Saturday afternoon. Liberty Bell is the state champion. They beat Nia Bay 50-12. Royal wins their 11th overall state championship. They roll over Mount Baker in the 1A finals 35-20. And poor Okanagan, it was a tight game at halftime, but then Napavine rolled away with 3 touchdowns in about 4 minutes in the second half. Napavine defeats Okanagan in the 2B state champion. So here are your state champions for the fall football season. Congratulations to Lake Stevens. For the first time, they won the state championship. They played in their 6th state final on Saturday. They had lost their previous 5, but they finally get off the schneid to win their first ever state championship. Yelm wins their first state championship in the 3A division. For Linden, make it 2 in a row. They are the champions of the 2A. As I already mentioned, Royal won their 11th state championship and their 3rd in a row. Napavine, the champions of 2B. Liberty Bell, 1B. All right, high school basketball scores. We'll start over the weekend. We'll start on Friday, and of course it's ladies first. Tenasket defeated Kashmir 63-58. Ephrata over Chelan 44-32. Non-league game. Quincy over Wahluken girls basketball Friday night 47-32. Friday night, North Creek beat Eastmont. You're going to see that name again here in just a couple of minutes. The North Creek out of Bothell beat Eastmont 81-67. Kashmir over Tenasket in boys basketball on Friday night 66-51, and Quincy over Wahluke. So a clean sweep for the Jackrabbits. All right, high school basketball Saturday for girls in the game that we carried right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Sela, no problems with the Wenatchee Panthers 63-20. Kashmir over Sultan 62-29, and the Quincy Lady Jackrabbits over Manson 58-33. High school basketball Saturday on boys. North Creek completes the sweep. They beat Eastmont on Friday. They beat Wenatchee on Saturday 79-38. Kashmir was not being rude, but they were insulting, and the Turks got the better part of the Bulldogs, and Quincy over Manson in boys basketball on Saturday. Speaking of basketball, we're back at it again tomorrow with the Othello Huskies in East Wenatchee to take on the Eastmont Wildcats. The girls' game will get going before the boys' game. The girls' game will be live on Facebook, tape delay on television. The boys' game will be live on TV and on Facebook. Again, that's tomorrow night. Othello and Eastmont with Grant Olson on the call right here on the NCWLIFE channel. College hoops on Sunday. The Washington Huskies just got by the Colorado Buffaloes. The final there was 73-63. No such luck for the Cougars. They lost by 2 points to Utah, 67-65. On Sunday, women's hoops, Stanford, the number 2 team in the nation, showed why. They rolled all over the number 23 Gonzaga Bulldogs, 84-63. And the Huskies beat a school called Queens College yesterday afternoon, 54-28. Speaking of the Huskies, we know what the bowl schedule is now. On Friday night, Utah defeated USC. That knocked the Huskies out of the Rose Bowl. Huskies will be in San Antonio to take on Steve Sarkisian, their former coach in the Texas Longhorns. That'll be in San Antonio December 29th. The Huskies and the Longhorns, and of course the Cougars, they knew about a week ago they were going to be at the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl on Saturday, December 17th. They'll take on Fresno State. As far as the Wenatchee Wild is concerned, they had a couple of very exciting games over the weekend, but they came up on the short end of the stick. Huge comeback against Trail on Friday, but it wasn't enough as Trail ekes out a 6-5 victory, and it was a little bit easier for Vernon on Saturday as they beat the Wild 4-2. The Wild have a 3-game homestand beginning this weekend. Seattle Kraken, Carter Vuragihi, he scored a couple of quick goals in the first period, and it was no problems at all. Spencer King was lights out in the goal. Seattle Kraken 7-game winning streak came to an end Saturday as the Florida Panthers beat the Kraken 5-1. They'll be hosting the Montreal Canadiens. The Kraken will tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on Root Sports. And DK Metcalf, big play from DK. He cut an 8-yard touchdown pass from Geno Smith in the closing seconds of the game, and the Seattle Seahawks defeat, it was a late rally, but they knock off the LA Rams 27-23. The Rams can't seem to get out of their own way. Geno Smith passed for a career-high 367 yards, 3 TD passes for the Seahawks. Their 2-game skid is over. Geno Smith's offense, 438 yards against a Rams defense that, quite frankly, wasn't very good. After the game, Coach Pete Carroll commented on the hard-fought victory.
Well, just again, we learned how hard it is to win in the league. Really a hard-fought football game today. They give them a lot of credit. They played good. They were in it the whole way. Did a nice job. I mean, I've been talking about Sean all week, but he did it again. He put together a great plan, and it was hard. Some really exciting things happened, on our side, the way we finished, and on both sides of the ball, particularly to see Gino have the chance to go down and take the team down the field and do it and just execute his tail off and have a huge game again, numbers-wise. It's just what he's doing. This is the season that he's playing, and we're lucky to have him. Defense getting out there in the last time to go, win the football game and get after him like they did was just a great statement about finishing the ball game. So really fired up about that. DK and Tyler had huge games. Both those guys were great. Noah was terrific today too in support as well. I was really praising DJ Dallas for fighting through being banged up and finishing for us. Tony did a nice job coming in for us. And unfortunately, Kenny just, he jammed his ankle and he just couldn't get back out there and get going again. So he showed that he was ready to go and all, but he just couldn't get back out. So we'll have to see what that means. I think, too, that the other thing that showed up in crucial situations, we pass protected really well and gave Gino a chance to stay in the pocket. He's stepping up and he's seeing what he needs to see and made some great throws and great conversions. We did really well on third down today on the offensive side. So just a lot of really good positive stuff. I thought that the coaches on the defensive side did probably as much adjusting in this game as we've done and did some great stuff to make this game plan come together after the first couple times they had the football and really pulled it together in great fashion, and the guys played like crazy. Tariq gets a pick. I understand that gives him a franchise record. He's having a great season, and he was beat a couple times today and came back out of it and made some plays that were really fortunate, but you got to be a little lucky sometimes too. I don't know. Everything else was just going to ask me questions about it, but I'm really fired up about this win and getting back on the plane together and have some fun going back home.
There are just 5 games left in the regular season as the Seahawks make their playoff push, and 4 of their final 5 games are at Lumen Field, including this Sunday when they host the Carolina Panthers. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday. Be safe. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And finally tonight, yes, a Washington State Patrol trooper did actually see this car Sunday driving on Highway 16 in Kitsap County. And yes, the trooper did have a problem with that. The driver, not visible in this photo, was issued a $533 ticket for second-degree negligent driving. The State Patrol said removing snow from your car before leaving home is the obvious lesson here. And speaking of snow, we've got another winter storm aimed right at us. It should be around our area by the time we head out the door on Thursday morning to come to work or school. Yeah, more snow Thursday, a bit of a break late in the day Thursday before it redevelops again on Friday. We could see probably 2 to 4 inches of snow, and that's Friday night. And once again, scattered snow Saturday before a second storm moves in on us once again as we get into Sunday. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. On the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Ali Shank, General Manager of your Wenatchee Apple Sox. It's time to talk baseball. What are we talking about tomorrow?
We're talking about our head coach returning, Coach Mitch, and some new merchandise out, and also some season tickets that are available right now.
And the 2023 schedule is out, too, so you can get your tickets in advance. Ali Shank, I love talking baseball in the dead of winter. It gets me through the dead of winter. She's on the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much. Go Apple Sox, by the way. And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around our area, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us, and have a great night.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Now, am I looking into this camera? Or am I looking, where am I looking?
We're gonna have you just look at it.
The holiday season is coming, and Santa's making his 15-second commercial for NCWLIFE channel. Are you?
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.